Hi guys, it's Megan and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be starting a new little series on here, which I'm super excited about because it's going to be revolving around everything day trading. And I wanted to start this series because ever since I began to relearn how to trade, I wanted to kind of go more into depth and show you the plan and the behind the scenes on how I'm going to be accomplishing becoming a full-time day trader. My trading setups, my recaps, personal development as a trader, mentality, journaling, and all those sorts of things. So we're going to be kicking off the series starting with my actionable plan on how I'm going to be accomplishing this, going into more depth on the strategy that I'll be using. And for new traders out there wanting to start day trading, hopefully you can take some things away from my plan that you can incorporate starting in 2025 to start your day trading journey and learn how to day trade. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so if you clicked on this video, you probably either want to start learning how to day trade and don't know how, or you're like me and you took a long break from trading and basically is starting from ground zero again. Either way, we made up our mind to start learning how to day trade, and now we need a plan to actually stick to. So grab a pen and paper so we can physically write down our plan to take the first step into our day trading journey. Now, the first thing we want to ask ourselves, and this is also the first prompt that we're going to be writing on our notebook, is why do we want to start learning how to day trade? What is your ultimate dream goal? What is the bare minimum that you want out of trading? And I want you to really dig deep with this question because this is going to lay out our foundation as to why we even started our journey in the first place. So it's crucial to really think about it and be very specific on your reasons. And I'm going to be doing it with you guys. So I have my notebook right here and a pen, and we're going to write down the first prompt. Now, there may be so many different reasons as to why you want to start learning how to day trade, and I can put a few examples on the screen here so you can kind of get an idea of what you want to write down. But again, you want to be very specific and be very intentional with your answer. I really value my time and just spending my time with the right people, with new experiences. And so I know my time on this earth is very limited and it's very precious to me. It's a very big asset that we can never get back. Money can come and go, but our time, once we spent it, it's gone forever. So my dream result from trading is to gain that time freedom, to be able to do what I want without having to answer to someone. A cool thing about trading also for an introvert like myself is that you get to stay home, which is really cool. And eventually I want to own a home with my boyfriend. I want to travel with him a lot more. I want to be able to take care of my family and being able to create generational wealth to where my kids' are taken care of. Yeah, that's when I know I made it. And I know trading can do that for me because I've reaped the rewards of trading before. Obviously not to that level, but I know it's possible, and that's exactly what I want out of trading. Now again, your answer might be totally different than mine, and that's fine. That should be your unique answer if that's specifically to you and your goals and your aspirations. But this is going to be our solid foundation and remind us why we even started in the first place, especially when we want to give up. And trust me, I know those times are going to be coming throughout the journey. There's going to be times when you feel like you just don't want to do it anymore. But if we can always go back to our why and see what we physically wrote down, the purpose of embarking on this journey, then we can re-motivate ourselves to actually keep going and push forward. Because trading is such a great tool to have and to learn. And so even if we want to take a break, we can always look back on our whys and keep pushing forward and continue with the journey to see it out. So the more specific your answer, the better. Okay, so after writing down your why, now we're going to get into finding a strategy. Now, if you're brand new to trading and you need like an introduction to know what trading is, the fundamental analysis, technical analysis, markets, etc., and all those sorts of things, if those things went over your head, then I highly recommend checking out Baby Pips. It's like a crash course on what trading is and all the things that I mentioned before. And after you watch that video, make sure to come back to this video so you can finish laying out your trading roadmap. But finding a strategy is also going to be very personal and individual. And again, this might take some time trying to figure out the right strategy for you. And there's going to be other factors that play into this that we'll get into later on in this video. But how you know you found the right strategy, and in my personal opinion, it's going to be when you know you're confident in actually applying it to the charts and it's easy to understand. Now again, there's going to be so much information, so many gurus and mentors out on the internet that have great strategies and that may work for some people. And you can definitely tinker around and figure out what strategy you think works best for you in terms of understanding it and actually applying it. But don't get too caught up in trying to learn every single strategy. I made that mistake when I first started, and I was strategy hopping every couple of months thinking that was going to be the winner, and I wasted a lot of time trying to figure out what strategy was good for me, and that ultimately led me to just take a break from trading altogether. So what I recommend is when you find find a strategy that you feel really confident in and that you know you can actually apply it to the charts, stick to it. Stick to one strategy. Now, learning from my lesson, I am going to be sticking to one strategy, and the strategy that I'll be using this time around is Tori Trade's trendline strategy, which I mentioned this in my previous video of starting over. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll link that in the description below. And the reason why I love her strategy so much is because of how actually simple it is. I think even if someone who's brand new to trading learned this strategy, they can probably apply it and see results pretty quickly from it because of how simple it is. It's literally drawing lines on a chart, trading the break of that trend line. But of course, I still need to practice it and see which time frames work for me and all that sort of stuff. But I'll definitely keep you guys updated on how the strategy is working out for me for the instruments that I'll be trading, which again, we'll get into later in this video. But again, once you find that strategy that you know you're confident in, stick to it and run with it. Practice, practice, practice. Now, once you kind of establish what strategy that you'll be using for your trading journey, the next thing we're going to be writing down are 3 questions that I think all traders should ask themselves. The first question is, what kind of trader do you want to be? And this is specifically referring to what type of trading you'll be applying. For example, are you going to be a swing trader? Meaning, are you patient enough and does your lifestyle fit into possibly holding trades for more than 1 to 2 days or even weeks? Are you comfortable with that? Or are you going to be an intraday trader or day trader, getting on the charts every single morning, trying to look for entries during when the market opens? Are you a scalper? Are you comfortable enough to get in and out of positions quickly within a matter of minutes? These are the type of questions that you need to be asking yourselves when you get into trading, because this is actually going to determine a lot of the factors that go into your daily routines when you set up becoming a day trader. For example, if I wanted to be an intraday trader and I wanted to trade the market open, which in my time zone, market opens at 6:30 a.m. That means I need to be able to accommodate waking up at 6 a.m. every single day to be able to trade the market open, which also means this will affect my sleep schedule. And if I have a 9 to 5 on top of that, I need to be able to cut off my trading session at a certain time so I'm able to also go to work. So asking yourselves what kind of trader you want to be is actually going to set up your systems to fit trading into your lifestyle. When I first started trading, I actually never considered this question. And so while I was finding my strategy, also finding out what time I needed to wake up, when I needed to trade, there was just too many variables that I had in my routine and I couldn't figure out what was working, what wasn't. And again, it became very overwhelming. So to cut out all the noise, asking yourself this question and figuring out what kind of trader is going to fit into your lifestyle seamlessly is actually going to help you a lot. It's going to be able to narrow down what you need to do in your routines to set up for a successful trading day. The second question is, what markets are you going to be trading? Are you going to trade in the Forex market, the crypto market, stocks, futures? For me personally, I'm probably going to just stick to the futures market just because I have the most experience in it. And Tori actually trades in the futures market, so it works out pretty well. And depending on where you are, there's going to be some caveats for each market. And they put together a little pros and cons template so you can kind of see and weigh out your options from here. But I do recommend doing your own research so you can have an idea of what each market offers so you can make an informed decision from there. And lastly, number 3, what instruments will you be using to trade? In Tori's trendline strategy, she mainly uses it on platinum and crude oil. Those are like the 2 things that when I was researching her strategy, those are the instruments that she uses the most. Now, the OGs remember that I used to trade US 30 or the Dow Jones religiously. I believe that she says her strategy applies to any and all markets, including the Dow Jones. But I think this time around, since I'm starting off a fresh slate, I kind of want to also just follow in her footsteps and use crude oil and platinum as my instruments to trade. But I also think crude oil and platinum have been a little bit more stable than US 30, so that is another reason why I am switching over to both of them. But US 30 will always be in my heart. Now, another thing that I will say when you're finding what instruments to trade is to stick to 1 or maximum 2 instruments to look at. You can be just as successful just trading 1 instrument, and so many traders have demonstrated this and it's worked for them for a reason. I think it's best to just stick to 1 or 2 so you're not overwhelmed with all these different charts, not trying to take unnecessary entries when the strategy doesn't call for it, and just to keep it really simple since we're taking baby steps towards our goals. There's a quote that says, "I fear not a man who's practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear a man who's practiced 1 kick 10,000 times. Be it master at 1 and not an amateur at all." now that you've written all your answers down, I kind of want to go more into the mentality that I think you'll need before you start learning how to trade. And I might actually do a separate video dedicated to mentality and personal growth and everything like that, because I think it's really important. But again, coming from past experience and starting this journey over again, I've learned so many things. And the one thing that I took away from the first time and that I will be applying to this time around is to be very organized. I think how I failed and became really overwhelmed easily last time is because I didn't have proper systems in place so that I can confidently execute them every single day. I just kind of willy-nilly start to learn how to trade here, or I'll watch a video about this strategy and then I'll try to apply it to the charts right now or right after, and it just didn't work out. And I think social media also pushed this narrative that as a trader, you have to be glued to your charts 24/7. You have to grind for 2 years and not see sunlight, always be studying. Having proper systems in place is going to allow you to take bite-sized pieces so that it can be very manageable and very approachable to do every single day. Having a big goal is so daunting when you first look at it, but once you start to break things down and break it down even further, I think even just 15 minutes a day or even 10 minutes a day can really make a difference, as long as you are continuously doing it. Because at the end of the day, that's really all that matters, and it will compound over time, and you'll see the fruits of your labors sooner rather than later if you just continue to do that. Hopefully this video helped you to kickstart your trading journey and make trading not so intimidating to start. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment down below, turn on those post notifications to get notified when I post next, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!